This is
I'd
going.
like to start off by wishing you a very Merry Christmas. Yeah,
This is
Christmas
going to be
Eve.
our very last episode of 2025,
Yeah, I'd
and
bet
this is
on
going to
that.
be
I'd bet on that.
episode 27, I think.
26 or 27.
I would say it's 27. I think. I'll
27
double
then,
check on
sure.
that.
Yeah, whatever. I'm
Okay.
just quickly going to pull up a heat map. I haven't actually been paying attention much. Looks like we're just levitating higher today.
Yeah, it's a brand new all-time highs.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
So
that's...
the Santa Claus rally goes from today, Christmas Eve, up to the
Yep.
second trading session of January, and Nvidia triggered the Santa rally yesterday. Nvidia had a monster day yesterday, and
Okay.
during the and as I as we've been discussing here, the SPY needs Nvidia to go higher, bro, and the tech sector. So the best performing sector during the last 5 trading sessions has been technology by a mile.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
that's it. So the SPY is a technology ETF. It is what it is. Whether you like it or not, it is what it is.
I mean, that's kind of nonsense, but sure. Statistically, doesn't really hold up, but sure.
As of now, the SPY has turned into a technology ETF.
Yes, 50% of the index is primarily technology or technology adjacent, but a technology ETF has 100% technology in it. So
yeah, so take a look at the. I can share my screen, I think.
yeah, go for it.
Are you gonna share something or?
No, I didn't have anything for you.
Okay. Let me show you. This is the point that I'm making. Let me see if I can share this quickly. Take a look. Take a look at that. So this is what is going on today. So we have a half trading session that will end at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Take a look at the last 5 trading sessions. Technology is up 5%, led by Nvidia. That's it. I mean,
Okay.
yeah,
I mean,
Santa needed Jensen to join the ride.
Sure, I guess.
Now we'll see. I mean, we're making a brand new all-time highs today, so will this last until January 2nd? I think that we are in for an interesting beginning of 2026. But it is what it is, bro. So
yeah, well,
take us the way.
Here's where I push back.
Mm-hmm.
If the S&P 500 was really a technology index, then it wouldn't be making a new all-time high without Nvidia making a new all-time high. We have big tech that's still down 10, 15, some 20% plus in the index. This is I guess what I was talking about earlier. The reason we're at an all-time high is because we've rotated elsewhere, and the other big technology names have finally caught a small break. We don't need Nvidia to make an all-time high for the general market to keep making all-time highs.
But do you think we would be making a brand new all-time high today without technology being up 5% during the last 5 trading sessions? So technology did the heavy lifting during the last 5 trading sessions, and now we have a bigger rotation today.
If you look past 5 trading sessions, we had technology lagging, and the market was holding up. I don't think you're giving enough credit to the other parts of the index that aren't technology.
Nvidia went up yesterday a lot. I can show you the technical chart down.
I'm looking at
Nvidia was leading the way. So without the participation of the tech sector, the SPY has very limited upside potential. I mean, it is what it is. You know, this sector represents 40% of the total market capitalization of the S&P 500. It is what it is. And the other day we were talking about this, Dan. It's like the same situation is happening all over the place. I mean, in the rest of the world. If you take a look at, for instance, at the stock market in Spain, or in Europe in general terms, so the most important stocks are banks. It is what it is, and they represent the vast majority of the market capitalization in the European market. So it is what it is. And the best companies that we have in this country are tech companies, and they are leading the way.
I'm not disagreeing with you that the United States stock market is primarily driven by tech. I'm saying that in this country, in the S&P 500, you have a whole bunch of other stocks in financials, healthcare, and elsewhere making 52-week highs. And I think that is more characteristic of what the S&P 500 is doing right now than what technology is doing right now. It is a distinction, because if what you were saying was 100% accurate as well as it is precise, then the S&P 500 wouldn't be at an all-time high without Nvidia being at an all-time high.
Correct. But again, for the SPY to keep going up, say, I don't know, we have 7,000 points just around the corner. I don't know, 7,200 points, maybe next year. I don't know. 7,200, 7,300 points in the SPY without the tech sector. I mean, I wouldn't be expecting that to happen without the direct participation of the tech sector. That's pretty much the point that I am trying to make here. So I am not. I am not like underestimating the other 493 stocks that trade inside the S&P 500. But I mean, if the tech sector does not cooperate, we just shop around, and the upside potential is limited. That's the point I'm making.
I think you're cherry picking your days.
Yeah, but it's 40% of the total market capitalization.
Fine. I guess I'll put it this way. I lived through the era where everyone thought that the S&P 500 couldn't do anything unless Apple did something. And then we went through a multi-year period where Apple traded sideways and the rest of the market went higher.
Okay, so I have a question for you. What happens if the Magnificent Seven collapse? If
we've seen it.
AI bubble, if the
Alvaro, we've seen it.
No. But I'm talking about a real collapse. 40% down. Nvda, Apple,
right,
Broadcom,
hold on, Alvaro.
Microsoft.
Can you stop sharing? Can you stop sharing your screen?
Oh yeah, sure. My bad, bro. 100%.
No, because just then your audio
100%. No.
Yeah.
So my question is, okay.
Yeah.
Say that the AI bubble bursts. I don't know. It's a bubble, whatever. The demand isn't there, or whatever, or the circular revenue, whatever. Say that your Microsoft, your Nvidia, your Broadcom, your Apple. I mean, maybe not Apple, but say that Apple also does the same thing. So say that we have a 30%, 40% collapse in the Magnificent Seven, and say that the other 493 stocks kind of hold up. What would happen with the SPY? It would collapse. But say that the opposite happens. Say that the 493 stocks collapse, because I don't know, for whatever reason, I am just making here a weird case, and the Magnificent Seven hold up. What would happen? The SPY would be fine. It is what it is.
Yes, Alvaro.
It's 40% of the total market capitalization.
Alvaro, I just wrote an article about how Nvda is 15% off the high. Google's fine. Meta is in a bear market. We have Microsoft down 15%. How much more do you want to? How much more do you want those stocks to fall before you give the rest of the market credit for holding up?
But they stopped going down. That's the point that I'm making.
While they were going down, the rest of the market outperformed. The RSP outperformed.
If those stocks keep going down, it's game over.
Alvaro, they kept going down for weeks. I don't think you're giving it enough credit. I just don't think you're giving it enough credit.
To the other 493 stocks?
Here's the problem, Alvaro, with my assessment of what you're saying. You're talking as if these stocks haven't been taken behind the woodshed and beaten to crap with a bat. But like, we're there. We're seeing it. You're not giving credit to what we're seeing.
But they have been holding up, Dan. If Microsoft goes down 40%, and Nvidia goes down 40%, and Broadcom goes down 40%, and Tesla goes down 40%, and so forth, and Google, and so forth, the SPY's going down, bro. Significantly.
Alvaro, Meta's in a bear market.
No, it's 13%, but it's way off. It's low. I mean, what's the low that Meta made? $580. It is trading at what? Let me see if I can see it here.
640, 650.
650. Yeah, it's recovered like 15%. So it stopped going down. So we have a little discrepancy here.
Going down, but if you look at what the market did in that time when Meta was dropping like a stone, it figured it out.
Because all the tech stocks were holding up.
All right, we're not going to disagree. We're not going to.
Yeah, I mean, we have a disagreement. It's okay. Meta is 15% of its most recent level.
I don't think that you are giving credit to the fact that we've seen these generals take huge breaks and the S&P 500 barely flinch. We didn't even get into a 5% correction. So my point is, yeah, sure, Alvaro, if Nvidia for some reason gets cut in half, if a $4 trillion company becomes a $2 trillion company, then yeah, the S&P is in trouble. But I think that kind of prediction is how do I put this?
It's unlikely, maybe.
Unlikely, but it's also not fair. Like if Nvidia is down 50%, something's seriously wrong with like the financial systems of the globe. It's not going to be Nvidia specific.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about something else.
That's what I was, like saying that hypothetically, you have the Magnificent Seven collapsing and the other 493 stocks holding up. If the Magnificent Seven collapse, that implies that we had the burst of a huge bubble, and everything is going to be negatively affected by that situation. Of course,
Yeah.
we're on
Sorry,
the
hold
same
on.
page.
I still don't know what episode we're doing. I'd like to welcome everyone into the
Yeah,
Christmas
yeah.
edition of episode 26 or 27 of Charts and Checks. Alvaro
27,
will
I
get
think.
that
Yeah.
right for us. 27. We'll go with 27. We just talked a little bit about, what we've all kind of been talking about, what's going to happen with the Mag 7, what happens with the AI trade, what's at stake. But today we're going to talk about Novo Nordisk. We've got some huge news coming out of their pipeline. I think it was yesterday, or maybe it was even just this morning. The stock is doing well. It's definitely reshaped how I think everyone needs to look at it, but we'll talk about that. And then we'll
We
go
have
ahead
to
and
talk
we'll
about
talk
Bitcoin,
about.
which is
Say
the
again?
disaster of the Bitcoin. We need to address what is
Sure,
going
well,
on in
we will
the crypto
address
space.
the disaster in Bitcoin, and then we might finish up with some expectations for January, what we might think to come. I'd probably just go over a handful of the catalysts that we see, whether they be upside or downside, who knows, for the month of January, just the first quarter overall.
Correct.
I am Don Foliani, the Gorilla with Glasses, here with Alvaro Pro, the bilingual stock market channel, as per normal. And we're wishing you a very Merry Christmas. Alvaro,
Merry
you
Christmas.
feeling the festive spirit? I love the chain.
Can you
there
hear
we
the
go.
sound of Christmas?
Yeah, the sounds of Christmas. You mentioned it a little bit in the open there. The Santa Claus rally. Do you have the statistics for that? What is it? It's
Yeah, it's from Christmas Eve up to January 2nd. That is
yeah.
the
What is it, like
Santa Claus
1%
rally.
higher or something like that?
2% on average.
2% on average.
So yeah, I
Something
mean
got nothing.
we're having the Santa Claus rally as we are speaking, right? I mean it's 11:27 in the East Coast. Oh, by the way, you're back in Ohio, right?
Yeah, we're back in Ohio. We'll be Christmas Eve is with my fiance's family tonight.
Nice.
Christmas Day, we do a little brunch thing with them as well. But we'll be back in Naples for New Year's with my family.
Okay.
So I want to wish all of
perfect.
them a Merry Christmas
Awesome.
as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean we can make a case. I mean, unless the markets collapse, from now until January 2nd, that we had the Santa Claus rally. Yeah, we could make a case for that. I mean, Santa didn't come to town for Bitcoin and the crypto space, but other than that, I mean, we have a lot of stocks that are way off its most recent all-time highs, but for the most part, it's a healthy breadth, general breadth out there. So we can make a case that Santa is coming to town. Yeah, sure.
No, I like it. I think it's interesting. There's been a lot of, and I think justifiable scrutiny tossed at the recent numbers coming out of the BLS. I'm not like a cook the books guy, but if you just look at the report and you see all of the blank spots where they just omitted data, I honestly, I try to be as down the middle as I can when it comes to interpreting data. You got to throw that report out. There's not enough data in it. And I think that it's like, hey, we're going to give you a cake, but no frosting and no sugar. It's like, it looks like a cake, I guess. But we're
going to have to wait until January.
We'll definitely have to wait until January. And I think what the market's doing in lieu of data is taking a look at some of the alt data that we get, taking a look at some of the general performance of other stocks, taking a look at things that we know are accurate and up to date that don't rely on the government, and basically coming to the conclusion that the economy is more or less where we thought it was. It didn't get worse. It hasn't gotten better. And I think that's kind of why you're allowed to have a Santa Claus rally, because in a bull market, in a situation where the Fed is net dovish and things are as they have been, there's no reason to pull back. And if anything, this gives you a chance to buy a name like Nvda or Meta or Amazon or Microsoft that are down better than 10%, especially if you were selling it on the way down or near the high to reallocate and make your position back up. A little window dressing, if you will.
On top of that, we are having a week with very low volume, low participation. I think that the IWM could have gotten killed. Yesterday with the better than cooked GDP Q3 report, but low volume stuff. So we didn't have the necessary, I would say, participation for the IWM to be negatively affected by the GDP report that we got yesterday. And I'm still, and you know this, and we have a discrepancy with this, but it's okay. I am still, of course, 100% in they are cooking the macro data camp. And I think that the Fed will be likely cutting rates in January as well, because whatever macro data we get in January, is going to favor a rate cut in January as well. But we'll see what happens. So that will be defined, as you said, and you're right about it. That will be defined in January. But I guess that by mid-January or something like that. And net, you also said that if the Fed keeps cutting keeps cutting rates, and nothing is going downhill in the economy, that is bullish for equities. But
Of course.
we should point out that usually midterm election years are, from a statistical standpoint, are rough years for the market. So we'll see if that actually plays out next year.
Yeah, I'd like to take I've heard the same about data in midterm years. I'd like to see a little bit more about that because generally speaking, the market's like gridlock. So when you go into a midterm and gridlock is, at stake, or, you could make it so that one side gets a majority, maybe that's why things start to get a little bit tense. I think in this case, because one party has control and there's a lot of angst about that party, I would expect that if Democrats take a couple seats back, the market actually gets a little bit more comfortable. But that's just I guess I'm assuming that the reason the data says that is because you have one party at the midterms. It looks as though they're going to take control of the branches of government, or get more control, a majority control over the three branches of the U.S. government, and that's never typically a spot where markets are stable and certain, because when one party has control, they can push their agenda through. And while politics don't run the stock market, policy definitely plays a role. So I don't know. I could be wrong about that. I'd have to look at the statistics a little.
You're not like personally expecting a correction in Q1 of next year?
Say again?
Or some sort of, aren't you expecting like a correction or pullback in Q1 of 2026?
I mean, I think it'd be foolish not to, but I think we understand the catalyst that could bring us there, and I could just name a couple. Again, I don't agree that there's people cooking the books in the BLS, but the data is so incomplete that we need to be open to the idea that when you get complete data, the revisions are crazier than normal. And if the revisions indicate that our current trajectory isn't what we thought it was, that could be the trigger for a correction. If the Supreme Court,
go ahead, bro.
I was just going to add the other catalyst, and there's no way of handicapping it. I just feel like it's a good time to talk about it right now. The Supreme Court could come out and say that all of these tariffs, with exception of some of the ones that are actually in the interest of national security and the ones that were investigated properly, could rule that they're unconstitutional. And there's already a giant class action lawsuit gathering. We're talking big names, including Costco that would sue for refunds of the tariffs. I don't even know what that does to the stock market. So there are a couple, and generally speaking, if you don't know what the outcome of a catalyst is, and there's no way of knowing, the market's first reaction is almost always to sell. So we'll see what happens, but those are the two catalysts that I see in the immediate, let's call it quarter, 1 to 3 months, that could cause a correction.
And something that is worth that is worth pointing out as well is the fact that the new earnings season kicks off on January 13th. January 14th, I think, with JP Morgan reporting.
Call it the second week of January. Sure.
Second week of January, correct. That is going to be also an important catalyst. So we'll see what the most important earnings reports look like, and that could also be moving the markets potentially.
Absolutely. I think we all know that earnings estimates are elevated. So they need to live up.
100%. Yeah, we'll see. I think that we are in for a tricky beginning of 2026. And yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind if we get a bit of volatility in early 2026, of course.
I totally agree. I'm going to have to ask a couple of friends about this, but I know a couple of people that they're only allowed to rebalance once, and it's almost always at the beginning of the year. They're like strict buy and hold, but these kind of people tend to have a lot of assets under their management. I always think the first quarter is tricky because that's when a lot of people start making year-long bets, and if they're proven wrong, some of them capitulate quickly, some people double down, but It always seems to me that there is one trade that everyone was kind of bullish on going in that in the first 3 months looks like a terrible idea, and then there's a trade that everyone left for dead in the last 3 months of the year that really start to work. And I mean, there's reasons for both of those phenomena. It's just so hard to choose, or I guess identify which is going to work and which is going to start working.
Yeah, so this is the real-time price action that we are seeing as of now, 11:36 a.m. in the East Coast. Yeah, brand new all-time highs for the S&P 500, 6,931 points. SPY's ripping as well, $690. The SPY was actually just able to burst above $689.70, which was supposed to be a tough spot for the bulls. So far so good. And by the way, guys, and of course you know this, Dan. I'm usually, because as of now we are having we were having very narrow ranging trading sessions, low volume, low general participation,
Yeah.
but this could change dramatically during the
Sure.
first trading session of 2026. Usually, and for the most part, and of course there are exceptions to the rule, the very first trading session of any given year is a very volatile trading session because you have people rebalancing their portfolios, and on top of that, you have a lot of people with winning positions from the previous year closing those positions in order to finally, pay the taxes. In this case, if you close a position in January of 2026, you're going to be paying the corresponding taxes in 2027. So that opens a very large window, let's just put it that way, in order to close winning positions. So usually the first trading session of any year is a very volatile and I would say entertaining trading session, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, a lot gets done the first trading day of the new year, but I feel like when you're going to start seeing volume pick back up, like in the second week of January, when a handful of people actually get back from their winter vacation, kids start going back to school, and adults can, for lack of a better term, just focus on the task at hand and not
Yeah.
everything else. And I mean,
Yeah.
that's well within their right. Everyone works hard every year. They deserve some time with their family and to enjoy it. There's
Sure.
I generally pin the second week of January is when everyone kind of shows back up.
Correct. So let's move on to Novo Nordisk. Big news.
Sure.
By the way, I just closed three collapses that I purchased yesterday when the news came out. So the news came out yesterday pre-market, and I got an unusual collapse alert on Novo from Tuesday. So someone knew ahead of time that the FDA was going to authorize Novo on the appeal.
Doesn't shock me.
So let's just say that someone was able to make the most out of it. So I closed some calls today, and I think this is stuck. I mean, this was a very positive catalyst. I don't know what you think, Don. I think that we have higher prices potentially coming up for Novo.
So most people know that I don't remember if we talked about it on the podcast or just in the Discord. But when we talked about comparing Eli Lilly to Novo Nordisk in the past, it was just very clear that Eli Lilly was the winner in all facets. They had a product that gave you better weight loss. They had a manufacturing prowess that allowed them to make the drugs quickly, as well as, and they were already modeling production to do more. So when it came to the GLP-1s in the injectable form, Novo Nordisk didn't have the orders and didn't have the capacity. And even if they could get a product to be as efficient as what Eli Lilly was making, they wouldn't have the manufacturing or the logistics to get it to as many places as Lilly. So they were really at a disadvantage. What changed is, to your point, is I think you said it was an oral pill, right? You mentioned the form
It's an
factor.
oral pill, correct? It's
Yeah,
a big catalyst, super big
It's a
positive
huge catalyst. And I
Because
think it changes the game significantly.
yeah, you were taking a shot before, and now you're going to be taking a pill. It's like extremely easier. The administration changed. It's gonna be like way easier. Having a pill instead of taking a shot. Go ahead, bro.
No. That what you said is true, and it's exactly to the point. It's why people are getting so excited. So, I don't know what this means for manufacturing, but I do know what it means for storage and shipping. It's a lot easier to store and ship a pill than it is an
100%.
injectable.
100%.
Injectables need to generally be kept refrigerated, or at least in some sort of stable state. A pill, you just you throw it in the back of a truck or a plane, and it goes to where it needs to go. The storage, obviously, you can store more pills or more doses per pill than you can doses per injectable. So that probably actually helps Novo Nordisk with their manufacturing, supply chains, logistics. The only place the market may be getting too excited is that doctors really don't like changing people's medication, especially if they're happy with it. So I don't anticipate a lot of doctors okaying or being okay with or even recommending that somebody on the GLP-1 shot, like from Eli Lilly, switch to a pill that is produced and provided by a different drug maker. I just don't see it as like a very likely first snap scenario. But for new entrants or new patients that are looking for a GLP-1, I think it's very possible that Novo Nordisk end up becoming the recommended path through the oral pill. So, I mean, then
but
again,
don't you think, if you are taking the shot of Lilly, wouldn't you be migrating to the pill, taking into account that taking into account that the administration of the medicine is so easier now if you take a pill?
I agree with you in theory. It's just when you're talking about it. So this is a little bit of something I know from my background in healthcare.
I didn't know you have a background on healthcare, bro. That's good news.
I was a healthcare investment banker for a year.
Oh, go figure, man.
And
awesome.
I spoke to a lot of different doctors.
That's
specifically in pain management.
New news.
A lot of them don't like changing people's treatment if it's working, because you're adding a risk there. But I guess what I was trying to kind of close on there is that if you're a new patient, like if you or I, not that we need it, were to go in today and ask for a GLP-1, it's possible that the Novo Nordisk pill would be what is recommended to us today. But unless you are on the shot, and you might need to argue with your doctor, which is your right to do. I mean, we've seen it. You can have a good dialogue with your doctor. It's important that you understand what the doctor's prescribing you, and the doctor understands your needs and how you feel about the situation as well. It's supposed to be a relationship.
Yeah.
And maybe the doctor is like, all right, yeah, fine, we'll do it. But I don't think it's going to be like I don't think doctors woke up yesterday and they're like, let me call all my GLP-1 patients and get them switched.
And you're making a very good point, actually, because if I were taking the medicine, right? So if I were taking the shot and the treatment is working out for me very good, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily be prone, to switching over the pill. So I mean, that's a good point. But net, this is very good news for Noah.
Oh,
now my question is,
sorry. I think this is a game changer. I think if you want to buy Novo, you feel like you missed out on Lilly. This is the best chance you've had to take a shot at it. I'm just saying the one place that the market might be overestimating in the short term is conversion. That's all.
Okay. That's good. That's good. I mean, from a technical standpoint, let me show you the technical chart. I was telling the guys in the Discord yesterday about this level. This is a big level, bro, $53. It is a level that was pretty much coinciding with the 100-day moving average. So Novo is actually, as of now, I mean, it burst above $53 today. Earlier than today, as soon as the trading session opened, this is the level at which I closed my calls. Take a look here. So the second it burst above $53, as soon as the trading session opened, I decided to close the calls that I purchased yesterday and take a look at the rejection then at $53. And now NVO is pulling back further, and now the 100-day moving average was broken to the downside. So instead of judging if the news was very good or not, which both of us believe that this is very good news, wait until the technical chart speaks. So we need, in my opinion, to see NVO consolidating above $53. Previous level of support, as you guys can see here, this was mid-October, also previous level of support in late September. And take a look at the energy that was released to the upside when NVO found support at $53 in, this was late September. So that implies, since we saw a very noticeable bounce of $53, that implies that that level is very important for the markets. Why is it? Because it released, a lot of energy to the upside, and now we have a previous level of support acting as resistance. So if this thing bursts above $53 and starts closing candles above that level, I might be getting call options once again. In my opinion, I don't know. I would rather starting a position here above $53. If it keeps dropping, we might see buyers defending price at the 50-day moving average that is coinciding as of now with the 5 at $49. And of course, the big risk here for MBO is the fact that we have a lot of buyers trapped all over the place. This is backholder central,
sure.
and the stock is trading below a declining 200-day moving average in red, as you guys can see here. So the 200 DMA is signaling $60.20, not $60. So this is the problem. You have a lot of overhead supply, and of course, if the stock keeps going up, if the bulls of MBO can hold $53 support, then you're going to have a lot of trapped buyers getting out of their positions as MBO keeps going up. So we have a lot of overhead supply. That is the issue. But I am very interested in MBO above $53. And now the question that I wanted to ask you, Dan. So is Lilly coming up for a FDA approval on appeal?
I'm sure they're trying.
Yeah, I'm sure that they are trying to. They must have a appeal that is waiting for FDA approval, right? For these kind of medicines, right? In order to lose weight, because in the case of Lilly, take a look. The technical chart is exactly the opposite relative to MBO. So, and to your point, Dan, when it comes to changing a medicine that is actually working out, Lilly isn't going down after the news of NBO came out. So take a look at this technical chart of Lilly. It looks very good. This is a clear uptrend above all the moving averages. We have a rising 50-day moving average. Lilly is trading above the 20. The 5 DMA is clearly rising. So in strict technical terms, and without evaluating the possibility of Lilly also being positively affected by a FDA approval on the weight loss pill, Lilly consolidates above $1,070, and this technical chart could easily be attracting buyers into it. And we have a potential retest of all-time highs at $1,115. But so the news of MBO should have been bad news for Lilly. It wasn't. So I think that the markets are kind of expecting an approval in favor of Lilly anytime soon. What are your thoughts on that, Dan?
I mean, I agree with your assessment of the technical situation. I think, I don't think I know Lilly is working on a pill version of their GLP-1 drug. I think they're probably scheduled to hear back from the FDA in the first quarter of next year. So maybe the market is snipping out that it's going to happen.
Eventually.
And all else being equal, because and again, I can't say for certain because I don't know like the full total addressable market of GLP-1s, but this could very well be a market that's big enough to support 2 players. The same way that AI has been big enough to support multiple semiconductors, multiple hyperscalers, etc. It's possible that there are just enough people that need the GLP-1 medication, and there's so few or so little manufacturing capability of it right now that so long as Eli Lilly gets their GLP-1 pill approved, the idea is that they will compete just fine and all the same. I think the big difference, though, the reason that this matters for Novo Nordisk, even if Eli Lilly gets their own pill, is that because it's a new form factor, there will still be a race to supply it, and it will be in short supply. And in other words, I think that because it's so new still, Novo Nordisk will still be able to sell plenty weight loss pill. Same thing with Eli Lilly because it's so new. Like a winner hasn't been established in the weight loss pill format. And it's possible that Novo Nordisk can get a better chunk of the market share this time around than they did when it came to the GLP-1 injectable.
Gotcha. I
don't know. That's just conjecture.
I have a fun fact for you. You ready?
Oh.
Ready?
Go ahead.
Okay, take a look at this. Let me share my screen. So take a look at the reaction of certain stocks once the NVO news came out. Let me show you. McDonald's down yesterday,
Yeah.
big
Yeah, don't
time.
shock me.
Okay,
Yeah.
Hershey's chocolate. Take a look at the
Well,
reaction.
that's yeah.
Take a look.
Yeah.
Down,
Yeah.
big time yesterday. Mondelez. Do you like Oreo? I
I
mean,
love
most people do,
Oreos.
right? Take a look at
Hope so.
Mondelez. Down, big time.
Mhm.
If the adoption of these kind of drugs keeps suspending, do you think that that's bad news for all of these? How would you call these stocks?
What, fast food?
Yeah, fast food or whatever, or cookies, or I don't know, whatever, chocolate
Yeah,
stocks,
fast food, junk food, snack
junk food,
food,
whatever.
that
All
kind
right.
of stuff.
But take a look
I
at the
mean, listen,
reaction,
I think what
brother.
ends up happening is Hershey
Mhm.
wakes up and they're like, we need to get protein in these Oreos, and they fix their problem.
Yeah, so maybe if we have an approval
I
for
would eat a
Lily, then
protein
we
Oreo.
can go short. We can go short McDonald's and Hershey's and Mondelez. Who knows?
I tell you what, Mondelez, you can have that one for free. If you put protein in your Oreos, don't even give me credit. Just send me a sleeve.
All right, let's move on to Bitcoin. What a
Sure.
disaster, brother. Do you have a
Yeah, I
technical
don't.
chart that you want to share with the guys or something? Because, I mean, everything is trading at, not everything. I mean, the indices are trading at all-time highs. Finally, Nvda, was able to catch a break. Santa Claus is apparently coming to town, but the crypto space is dead.
Hold
Dead.
on, I'll try to pull up a chart. I'm gonna
Okay, go
open
ahead.
up Robinhood because I like their chart better.
Okay, awesome. I didn't
Hold
know
on,
you
go
were a
Robinhood.
Robinhood customer.
Oh yeah.
I
They
didn't
also
know.
need to give me my credit card. I've been on their wait list
I
forever.
didn't know that. I'm
I've been
finding
on
it out
that wait
today.
list forever, Alvaro. It's pissing me off.
Okay.
Someone I referred got the card, not me.
Okay.
I'm not happy about it. But whatever, jerks.
I've been a customer for many, many years, so it's not.
Did you get
It isn't
the
my
credit
main
card?
broker, but
Did you get
I
the
do
credit
some
card?
trading on Robinhood.
Did you get the credit card though? The gold card?
No, I haven't. I have too many credit cards, so I'm done. I'm done with credit
Funny.
cards. Oh, by the way, hold on for a second, bro. Welcome to the Tesla family.
Oh, why? Thank you. Yeah.
Do you
we're
have a
all very
picture that
excited.
you can share with the guys? Do you like your vehicles so far? Oh, by the
hold
way,
on. Yeah, we
let's
can do
make a
that.
distinction here. So, welcome to the Tesla's owners family, but
Mhm.
not to the Tesla shareholders family.
Yes, no, I'm not a shareholder of Tesla.
There you go.
As of yet.
I like it.
Here we
I
go.
like
I
it.
can pull this up. No,
Yeah.
but this was fun. I gotta thank my.
So that's a Model 3, the one that you got, right? So the same vehicle that I got recently.
I would assume so. This is the refreshed Model 3, the
Take
premium
a
rear
look,
wheel drive. So it's just the second level up there.
bro. I mean, the same color than my car.
You get it?
The same thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
the same thing. I got like the
This is
most
the
basic.
Yeah, most basic. Stealth gray.
Correct. Still a great
They're
car.
white interior. White interior because it's Florida.
Oh,
You don't
okay.
wanna
No,
be
I don't
caught.
have the white interior. Okay.
Dude, it's too
okay.
hot in Florida to have a black interior.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
yeah.
Do you like it so far? It's a fast
No,
car,
I
man.
love it. I only got to play with it for a day and a half, but playing around with stuff like the light show, like just having the car do funny stuff. The full self-driving, actually, it drove me all the way home. No problems with that whatsoever. I mean, a lot of it was highway driving.
Is it assisted? Or
No.
do you need to hold the steering wheel?
No.
So maybe I have an issue here with the regulations in North Carolina. That has to be the explanation then.
Well, it could be like if I stop paying attention, it buzzes at me and it's like put your hands on the wheel.
Correct. So okay.
But it is like I literally was sitting down and I was talking to my fiance on the way home, and it got us onto the highway and did all the lane changes and everything. And I didn't.
I will
have to
send
touch
you a
the
video.
wheel.
I will send you a video. In my case, I need to hold the steering wheel.
Okay.
I need to hold the steering wheel. Okay.
When I get back to Florida, I'll take a video with my meta glasses, and we'll compare.
Okay. Perfect.
Notes.
Awesome. But regardless of that, welcome to the Tesla family.
Thank you so much.
You just purchased a very good vehicle.
Dude, it's so cool. I don't want to show everyone my holdings of Bitcoin.
Yeah, if you can't, then you were about to show us a short of Bitcoin.
Yeah, I'm just trying to.
And I gotta tell you, brother. I
mean,
mean,
people what I have.
I really like what we are seeing as of now in the case of Bitcoin. So I think that we needed a burst inside the crypto space, and we're getting it. So I mean, for the most part, and will you pull up the chart? I can I can share my thoughts with the audience. So last year, the Trumps were, they saw an opportunity to make a fortune out of Bitcoin. So we saw an unprecedented and illegal pump and dump operation. That it was a regular pump and dump operation. It basically ended up the way that every pump and dump operation works out like. The pumper made a fortune, and they ended up dumping on the heads of retail investors. So now the Trumps doesn't seem to be interested in BTC anymore, and they already made a fortune out of it. And on top of that, we need MicroStrategy out of our way. So that is also something that I like a lot. So I mean, I'm very happy with this, bro. I've been a crypto investor for many years, and when Bitcoin goes down, I just keep adding to it. I just keep buying. So I am very happy actually about what is going on, and we are having in my opinion, a necessary purge in the crypto space that is positive. So I am very happy with the price action that we're seeing as of now, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, I happen to view this as an opportunity to get in. This is a 5-year, one-day chart. And I mean, it's just higher highs and higher lows. I don't think there's anything to get too crazy about. I know people wanted to see more action at 80,000, and I think the bounce to this point hasn't been overwhelmingly impressive. I don't feel, listen, if you want to go into like the shorter term timeframes, feel free. I just don't think it's particular. It's not the way I've ever bought or sold or traded Bitcoin, so I don't do it. But when I look at this, I see buyers defending price at 80,000. They're defending this big explosion when it gapped up from 75 to, I mean, what was eventually 100,000 or so. I look at this, and obviously it's not great. It's almost a straight line down from 130,000 to, I mean, it shed $50,000 a coin. Like it isn't a good looking chart, but when you have a chart that has done so incredibly well, and we all know that cryptocurrency as an asset class is incredibly volatile, this is kind of par for the course. Like, I understand why people are upset or confused or fearful, but to me, this is just Bitcoin acting like Bitcoin. It's been a bit of a chameleon. Sometimes it acts as a risk gauge, which I think is what it's doing, or what it had been doing on the way down. Sometimes it acts as a momentum trade. Sometimes it acts as an inflation hedge. So there's people always find a way to assign a story to the price of what's happening in Bitcoin. And it's funny because if you like look at the narrative in like weekly increments, it's super believable. But this it's a good chart. I mean, if you want to buy some, you buy some. I think my next dollar cost averaging will come in December 31st, so right before the new year. And I'm not going to change it.
Yeah, so it's down in the year, which is impressive because, I mean, the markets are having a very positive close for the year. So that's impressive.
Like year to date,
I've been buying
down.
I've been buying Bitcoin, purchasing Bitcoin for many years. I mean, I was buying Bitcoin at $15,000, $20,000. So the lower it goes, the more enthusiastic I become. And my advice for the people that are not familiar with the crypto space is that be careful. This is a very volatile asset, and if you don't understand Bitcoin, you shouldn't be starting positions during a crypto winter if we are actually in the beginning of a crypto winter. Because I mean, this thing is trading at 84,000, 83,000 as we're speaking
87.
here. 87. So if we take out last week's low, I mean, we're looking at $70,000, $60,000. So this is a very volatile asset. And I mean, my experience is this thing goes lower, I keep buying. I mean, I believe in the crypto space. I like Bitcoin. Of course, I didn't like at all the pumping and dumping that we saw this year. I don't like MicroStrategy. I think that MicroStrategy is a scam company, leveraged to infinity and beyond. And for the most part, we are, the Trump's premium was removed out of the crypto space, and now the market's already concerned about MicroStrategy. Like being able to actually, survive or something. So, I don't know. I actually like the way that Bitcoin is closing out the year, and yeah, I mean, if it goes lower, I am going to be buying more Bitcoin, so that's okay.
Just for reference, here's a chart of strategy, as
Come
they
on,
call themselves.
call it for what it is, Dan. Come on, give me a MicroStrategy. Come
Strategy.
on.
Yeah, I mean, this chart looks so much
Oh
worse.
my God, take a look
I
at
guess
what
I
a
could.
disaster, brother.
Can I
Jesus Christ.
compare? I don't play with Robinhood often, so whatever. Let
What
me
a
see. Can I?
disaster, man.
Yeah, no, not great.
Unbelievable.
But I mean, like you saw it before. Like Bitcoin, didn't make a lower low, in the year. And this is 5 years, by the way. This is one
Hmm.
year.
Jesus
It's off.
Christ.
It's off a whole lot worse year to
Then
date. So if you
Bitcoin.
like look at the
Yeah.
start at 330, it's at 157. It's been cut in half year to date. It peaked probably around the same time, but it's been unrelenting, and it's making a lower, sorry, and probably a new 52-week low today if it closes there, because it got a little bit of a bounce here. So and this is something that I think is actually healthy for the markets broadly speaking. The good
Yeah.
news is that the Nasdaq hasn't followed it, which to me implies that the market is sniffing out that whatever is happening with Bitcoin, whatever's happening with tragedy, is not systemic in any way, and it's just isolated to those players. I mean, even
Correct.
Coinbase looks better than this. So
Yeah.
I'm happy that Coinbase is getting some credit for being slightly more diversified, other than just like a Bitcoin proxy.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, directionally, it still works that way, but they're getting some credit.
Yeah. Coinbase has nothing to do, absolutely nothing to do with the disaster of MicroStrategy. I mean, that's very, but very, very, very obvious. And despite the fact that that is also stock that has gotten hit severely, but nothing to do with. I mean, I think that MicroStrategy has to be in a drawdown of how much, 70% of the highs or something like that. In
Oh,
the
off the
case of Coinbase, yeah,
highs.
we have a
I mean,
30-40% drop.
the high was 460. It's trading at 160. Um,
Yeah, it's a 45% drop, 42%
it's
drop,
worse
something
than
like that.
that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I think it's in a 65% drawdown.
Coinbase?
No.
No, MicroStrategy. You know, I'm sorry, we were talking about different things.
Coinbase. I'm sorry.
I'm talking about Coinbase. Yeah, so
Yeah, so
Coinbase has to
depending on
be.
where if you mark the top in July, it's worse. But if you just look at the top from
Yeah.
October, yeah, call it 35-ish%, $160 off a $400 top.
Correct.
No, 40%. Okay, I mean not cut in half, but whatever. Anyways. Yeah, I mean this
And of
isn't bad.
course,
And also if you look at this chart, it's defending 240 very well. Right there. Lost it in the tariff tantrum.
we'll
Came
see.
out.
We'll see if maybe then we have some sort of January effect in favor of the crypto space. You know, like Bitcoin and Coinbase and I don't know. What's the ticker symbol of the ETF? That's
Which one?
BIT. I don't
What,
even remember
IBIT?
the ticker symbol.
IBIT?
IBIT, correct. IBIT, correct. That's the BlackRock ETF. So, I mean, maybe the crypto space could be a candidate for some sort of relief in early January. We'll see about that. It's possible. Let's
I just put up
don't
a
rule it out.
200-day average in pink here, by the way, if you're looking at Coinbase. It got rejected there when it tried, but it's
Yeah,
still holding
clearly
240.
reacted.
I mean, yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, so the same. I mean, for anyone interested in buying these tips, we'll probably recommend the same approach that we've talking about here in the podcast. Then, if you want to buy the dip in a stock that is clearly downtrending, that is in a major downtrend, you need to wait until buyers show up and the short starts to look a bit better. So wait until the 5-day moving average is recaptured. Wait until the 20-day moving average is recaptured. So you don't need to be a hero, and you don't need to pick the very bottom of any drawdown. So that's not the way that you start positions in clearly downtrending stocks. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, right or wrong, Coinbase is going to trade with Bitcoin, even though there's a lot more.
It's a
going
crypto
on with it.
proxy, 100%. It is.
But like in their defense, they're not as the chart isn't as ugly per se. Like in the short, like it's outperformed to the downside.
MicroStrategy is another level, 100%.
Oh yeah, no, it's just completely different. I'm just saying Coinbase is getting. It's hard because if you're investing in Coinbase, you're believing that eventually the market differentiates between the price of Bitcoin and the fact that Coinbase's entire business is based on transactions and based on a lot of revenue they get from the stable coins, taking from staking. It probably shouldn't be a Bitcoin proxy. And if you're buying it right now, you're betting eventually the market figures that out. But until then, you're probably just going to have a lower beta version of Bitcoin that outperforms to the downside and underperforms to the upside. meaning
Yeah.
that it's not going to dip as far as low, but it's not going to get as high on the way up.
Hey, I have a bonus question for you.
Mm.
But instead of telling you the question, I am going to pull up a technical chart, and I think that we can wrap up the episode and the year, for that matter, with the next stock. Take a look at this. Unbelievable, done.
It's loading.
Any thoughts about this company?
Can you send me the picture of this chart on Discord?
You cannot see what I'm sharing with you?
I have a black screen in front of me.
Oh, I gotcha. That's okay. This is Micron, done.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
dude.
Brand new all-time highs today. Dips are getting bought up like very aggressively. And yeah, we can make a case that Nvda, is 15% of the highs and stuff like that. Even Broadcom got annihilated after the latest earnings report was released. But what a beast!
What a beast!
In the case of Micron, bro, unbelievable. So what a good technical. This is a very good technical chart. Above all the moving averages, we have a rising 5 DMA, and what really catches my eyes is the fact that dips are getting bought up in a very aggressive fashion. So maybe we could see a bit of profit taken in the case of Micron. This stock has gone up a lot in the second part of 2025. So we could see a bit of profit taken in January. Because of what we just talked about, people locking in the profit in, maybe during the first trading session of 2026, so they can pay the taxes in 2027.
Yeah, but you're deferring your tax liability.
Correct. You're deferring a bit your taxes. Correct. I mean, not a bit, significantly. We can say. So in the case of Micron, this is going to be on the top of my watch list in order to buy dips in early 2026. So we have a previous level of resistance, previous all-time highs, $262, and we have the 20-day moving average at $248. And why not give me $232? Which is a level that coincides with a previous level of resistance and with a rising 50-day moving average. But I think that, we would have to maybe, do the math, I guess. But Micron probably posted the best earnings report of Q3.
It was definitely the best.
It was impressive.
It's definitely the best guidance.
The guidance was impressive, and we already know that that if you're going to do something AI related, you need memory chips.
Right.
So this company is like some sort of
their DRAM stuff.
Correct, the DRAM. Correct. So this company is a big winner, regardless of who ends up winning the AI race from a semiconductor standpoint, right? So I am a buyer of the tip on Micron in 2026. I am not obviously chasing it here, and I am trading wise. I am not doing anything, until 2025 ends. But this is one. This is we can say that this is a candidate for profit taking in early 2026. And if you give me 262 or the 20-day moving average at 248, or why not? Maybe a retest of a rising 50-day moving average at $233 that already acted as support. I am a buyer of Micron. Would you be a buyer of Micron on pullbacks?
It's hard. I want to say yes, but it's a really difficult stock to own only because I still think I have to get it out of my head that it's cyclical. Like Micron has always been a very cyclical. It's like people consider it like the most cyclical of the semiconductors that up until the AI revolution have been cyclical. I don't know how much not muscle memory. I don't know how much market memory is in the stock, because if the shareholders that also traded it before, they're going to be willing to sell this thing pretty aggressively. This is something I would need a pronounced, if it loses, I'm not going to buy it at the 20-day. Like if I buy it, it'll be at the 50-day, it'll be the 100-day. Like there will need to be some damage done to the stock.
A big pullback.
Gotcha. Yeah. This is not something I really want to play with. I said it on the last video I made for the year in the last 11 on 11. This quarter, it needs to be on the board that it is what ends the sentiment correction in AI. We finally got a good report, a great report. That was just as great as all the other ones, and a guidance that was arguably the best in class. And instead of selling off, it rallied.
I think they posted the best earnings report from the technology sector
Sure.
in Q4. I mean they
Yeah.
reported Q3, but they reported in Q4 a few weeks ago. It was a crazy report. Yeah,
Well, we
very
talk
very
about
bullish.
we talk
Mhm.
about the character of the market and we talk about trends. Like we said that Palantir's quarter was the best of Q3. Market sold
That
it.
was an outstanding report as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
you're right
like
about that.
at the time, right?
Yeah,
And then we could say that again about Nvidia. And then Broadcom
very
wasn't
good
as
report.
good, but it was great. And no matter what, the market just kept selling good news. The fact that the market decided to buy good news right now, to me,
It's
is an
encouraging.
indication that
Yeah,
perhaps the character of the market is changing.
yeah.
That, to me, is the most important takeaway from the Micron quarter.
Yeah, yesterday I was waiting for a pullback down to $270 in order to buy the dip, and I didn't get it, bro. The stock went down to $272, and I got frustrated because I wanted to buy the dip.
Dude, it's hard.
And that's why I'm saying that dips are getting bought up like very aggressively. And well, we'll see if we get a dip in Micron in 2026. Yeah, bro, I think this is a wrap.
I think this is the
So,
wrap. I agree. I'd like to
mhm.
thank everybody for spending a little of their holiday with us. If you're here, you know that you found Alvaro, but if you want a little bit more from him and a little bit more from me, you can find us in his Discord. And also, if you want to learn a little bit more directly from the man himself, his Patreon is linked below. As for myself, you'll find a link to my blog and to my YouTube. Try to get some stuff out there, but I probably will be riding off into the sunset. You probably won't hear from me until the middle of January either. So, thank you all for stopping in. I wish you all a very Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for the
Merry
time today,
Christmas,
Alvaro.
guys, and very happy New Year. So
Happy New
hopefully
Year.
2026 is going to be a great year for everyone.
I hope so as well.
And you have a Merry Christmas, bro. Guys,
Merry
take a look.
Christmas,
The
Alvaro.
sound.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Let's say hello
Take it
with the
easy.
sound of Christmas.
The sounds of Christmas.
Take care, guys.